Iran's Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps says it has launched what it describes as a surprise and powerful strike on the U.S. Udeid Air Base in Qatar, one of the largest American military installations in the Middle East. The operation was claimed as the 15th wave of Operation Nasser II. According to the IRGC, the attack destroyed, in Tehran's telling, a radar system and several aerial refueling aircraft at the base. Those claims have not been independently verified. But stop on that target for a moment. Aerial refueling aircraft are the invisible backbone of American air power. Without the tankers, fighter jets cannot stay in the sky, bombers cannot reach distant targets, and the entire tempo of an air campaign slows down. If Tehran's claim were accurate, it would not be a symbolic hit. It would be a blow aimed at the machinery that keeps every other American aircraft flying. And Al Udeid, in Tehran's telling, was only one stop. The guards also claimed they targeted U.S. fighter jets and refueling aircraft in Jordan, along with a HIMARS launcher and what Tehran described as American troop positions in Kuwait, alleging damage and casualties that Washington has not confirmed. The visuals circulating on screen were released by the IRGC itself, which says they show the combined missile and drone operations carried out with what it calls special surprise tactics during waves 10 through 16 of Nasser II. Wave after wave across the names Tehran is using for this campaign. Whatever the true damage behind each one, the campaign's arithmetic is doing its own work. This is no longer being presented as isolated retaliation, but as a rolling offensive against U.S. military positions across the entire region, with Al Udeid rapidly becoming one of the most contested flashpoints in the Middle East. Then came a claim of a different kind. According to Iranian state media, Tehran says waves of Arash drones were launched toward Kuwait, targeting what it described as American barracks and a key U.S. military logistics center. If true, the choice of targets is highly significant. Barracks are where American personnel live, rest, and prepare for operations. A strike there, if confirmed, would move the claim from infrastructure into the human core of America's presence in the region. And a logistics center is the backbone of any military operation, moving fuel, ammunition, spare parts, and supplies to forces across the Gulf. Disrupting that network could slow deployments, complicate resupply, and erode the readiness of U.S. forces. Rather than hitting symbolic targets, the target list Tehran is advertising appears designed to threaten the foundations that let America project power across the Middle East. And the claims did not end with Kuwait. Iran's Press TV reported claimed attacks on American aircraft and helicopter facilities at Bahrain's Sakhir Air Base, with the stated objective of hitting aviation infrastructure essential for air operations, surveillance missions, troop transport, and rapid military response across the region. Iranian officials portrayed the entire operation as part of a coordinated campaign against U.S. military assets throughout the Gulf, presenting the strikes as a message about the growing range and operational reach Iran wants the world to see in its long-range drone fleet. Taken together, the reported targets reveal a clear pattern. Barracks, logistics hubs, and air bases are not isolated facilities. They form the interconnected network that enables the United States to sustain military operations throughout the Gulf, and targeting all three would represent an effort to weaken that network from multiple directions at once. If the Iranian claims are accurate, they would point to a campaign Tehran once framed as coordinated, stretching from Kuwait and Bahrain to Qatar and Jordan, demonstrating an ability to threaten multiple U.S. installations in near-simultaneous operations. However, and this must be said plainly, these claims originate from Iranian state-affiliated media and have not been independently verified. U.S. officials have not confirmed the reported strikes or acknowledged any resulting damage. Even so, the claims themselves underscore how rapidly this confrontation has evolved, from isolated missile launches and proxy attacks into a declared struggle over the military infrastructure that underpins America's presence across the Gulf. Amid the wall of claims, some things did burn on camera. A major fire erupted at a Kuwaiti power and desalination facility after what authorities described as Iranian attacks, with dramatic footage circulated that was said to show a projectile striking a border area between Kuwait and Iraq, triggering flames and sending thick black smoke into the sky. The IRGC said in a statement that during the 12th wave of Nasser II, it targeted a missile defense surveillance radar, several major U.S. weapons depots, 2 HIMARS rocket launchers, according to Tehran's statement, and missiles assigned to those systems inside Kuwait. Tehran added that its forces remain prepared to confront any pressure or threat, claiming Iran's history, public support, and military readiness would carry it through what it called enemy aggression. Kuwait, as it has throughout this war, gave a different account. The country's military said it intercepted hostile drones overnight, and Kuwaiti authorities said their air defense systems were actively confronting hostile missile and drone threats following what they called Iranian aggression. The military warned residents that explosion sounds heard across the area were likely air defenses intercepting incoming attacks, and urged people to follow official safety instructions. Read those 2 accounts side by side. Tehran describes destroyed radars and burning depots. Kuwait describes interceptions. Both agree on only one thing: Kuwait's air defenses were active through the night. In Washington, the tone could not have been more different. President Donald Trump projected confidence that Iran would be defeated soon and pointed to the oil markets as proof the campaign is working. He noted that many expected oil to soar toward $350 a barrel, while it currently trades near $79, up from 68 days earlier, a rise he framed as the result of limited American action after Iran, in his telling, refused to obey. He predicted oil could settle at $55 or less once the situation calms. It is a striking split screen. Tehran announcing wave after wave of strikes on American bases, and the American president measuring the same war in dollars per barrel. And the American campaign has not paused. Reuters reports CENTCOM has carried out strikes on Iran for 6 consecutive nights, with dozens of targets hit in the latest round. Iranian state media reported strikes on areas including Hormozgan province, the coastal region that faces the Strait of Hormuz itself. 6 nights of American strikes against a claimed 16 waves of Iranian counterstrikes. The exchange rate of this war keeps climbing, and it is being paid closer and closer to the waterway that carries a major share of the world's energy. So let us be precise about where the evidence stands. Confirmed. A major fire burned at a Kuwaiti power and desalination facility after Iranian strikes. Kuwaiti air defenses intercepted hostile drones overnight, and Reuters reports CENTCOM has struck Iran for 6 consecutive nights. Claimed, but unverified. The destroyed radar and tankers at Udeid, the casualties in Kuwait, the burning aviation facilities at Sakhir, and virtually every damage figure attached to waves 10 through 16. That gap matters, and it should temper every headline. But step back and notice what does not depend on verification at all. Iran has publicly defined its target set, and it is not palaces or monuments. It is refueling aircraft, barracks, depots, radars, and logistics hubs, the connective tissue of American military power. Whether or not each strike lands, Tehran is signaling that it has mapped the network that sustains the U.S. presence in the Gulf, and that it intends to pull at every thread of it, from Qatar to Kuwait to Bahrain. Trump is measuring this war in oil prices and defeated enemies. Tehran is measuring it in waves, and the states caught between them, hosting the bases, watching the interceptions light up their skies, are left to wonder how many more waves their territory can absorb in a war they never chose. The world is watching, and so far, neither side is blinking. Subscribe to WLA for daily geopolitical analysis.